Hi, everybody. This is Conversations and Translations, and you are listening to me, Franklin Esau. Conversations and Translations is where the conversation is real and the dive is deep. And today on our show, we have a very special topic, especially pertaining to young ones and those who are looking at furthering not only their career, but also moving in the direction of studying. So on today's show, we have a very special guest, Miss Julianne Phillips. Hi, Miss. How are you?
Good afternoon, Mr. So I'm very well, thank you. How about you?
I can't complain, man. Listen here, there's something so magnificent about studying, and I know that you have been studying for a while. But before we get into studying, who is Julianne Phillips?
Well, I am an independent, young, new teacher, a novice teacher, still learning. I'm very passionate about teaching. Um, I started studying 7 years ago and I never stopped. I did stop, but after 6 years. So I just graduated last month with my honors degree and I plan to further my studies. I teach at Ravensmead Secondary School where I teach mainly in the FET phase and I enjoy working with teenagers, especially because I feel like I can impact their lives and their thoughts in a positive way. I think I can make an impact, a positive impact in their lives, especially because I am still young as well. So I feel like I can get through to them easier or more easily than someone older would. And it's not that I want to talk bad about older teachers, they are amazing, they are legends. And they have their methods. But I feel like things are so different now, and you need to work with contemporary methods to get through to learners. So I feel like I get through to them quite easily, and it would really make me happy if I can learn them something and if they can use what I've taught them to make their lives better or to improve themselves
Yes.
as people. And
And do you remember where we have met?
yes, I do. I remember one day I was coming from the office, and then you were standing next to Mr. Bradley, who at the time was here, 2019, and then introduced me to you. That's where I met you. And after that, I just saw you here every time, every day, and so forth. And then you started engaging with me in terms of. I, for one, am very. When I first found out what SmilingOne was about, I was interested immediately because I am all for working with how people feel, what they have to deal with. You need to be mentally healthy to do something properly. You need to be okay. You need to want to do something. I feel you should always do anything with an open mind. And if SmilingOne is going to help learners, if SmilingOne is going to help teachers and help them to share their experiences and even try to look at methods on how to make it better, then I'm all for it. Because I want the learners to be okay. I want the teachers to maintain their sanity. That's what I want. I was all for it from the beginning. I still am. Thank you.
And tell me something. So studying and on your journey of studying, why did you study as a teacher?
As the teacher, I'll tell you the truth. When I went to university, it was not my plan to become a teacher. I was still very confused. That's why I enrolled in the arts faculty and not the education faculty. So I did my 3-year Bachelor of Arts degree. And when I got to my third year, I decided, okay, let me just try this. So I did the 1-year postgraduate certificate in education program that qualifies you as a teacher. So it's equal to 4 years studying of education. And I started, practice teaching at the schools you had to visit for your education practice mark. And that's where I found out, oh my word, It's so different being in the shoes of a teacher as opposed to being the learner. And the view from the teacher is different, but it's exciting. It's like you got the opportunity to now play around and see, you had the chance to do things your way, incorporating your own methods in terms of teaching. You learned how to do filing, you learned how to keep up with admin, all of those things. So that's what I started to enjoy about it. Creating your own lesson, you could be so creative, you could do it the way you want to do it. And once you see those learners interested, that's when I feel like I got them, and that's a good feeling, especially when I did small tests, class tests for them, and you see but the kids are passing, or they made an effort to study. That makes you feel good. So I just wanted to challenge it the whole time and see what more can I do? How far can I get them? You understand? Yeah.
And when speaking about studying and speaking about practically executing what you have studying, on your journey of studying, and you mentioned how it was 7 years that
Yes,
even
6 years.
after school you went to study. Tell me something, on your journey of studying, what had motivated you to keep on going and to keep on studying?
Okay. So in my last year at university, my 4th year, when I did the program in the education faculty to become qualified as a teacher, we learned a lot of things, and it interested me. I was starting to question. You get all these articles that you have to read, you get these assignments that you have to do research. So what interested me was that the education system might be a bit rocky. It's not that I want to speak badly about it, but there are a few questions that I have myself. And from then on, I thought, okay, what if I could become a lecturer, or what if I could become a researcher? Um, so that's when I decided to apply immediately for my honors degree in education. So that I did part-time. That is why I did the honors in 2019 to 2020. So it took me 2 years. And after that, I decided I'm going to continue studying. So I'm looking at starting my master's degree next year, because there are a lot of, I feel like I could make a contribution to the gaps that there are in the education system in terms of research, in terms of ameliorating some of the problems that exist in the education system. So that is what I'm also passionate about. I love being in the classroom, and I intend to, try work with even bigger people at the university eventually.
Yes. Yes, beautiful vision. And I love the vision, and especially what keeps you motivated and what keeps you going into studying further. What would you say to someone that is just starting out to study, or someone that is in matric that is planning out to study? What would be their approach, or what would be a good strategy going forward studying?
Okay, I feel, or I think you need to be disciplined if you are going to take on studies. I don't think anything can really prepare you for what university is like. But I think that you need to be disciplined, and you need to understand, okay, um, nobody's going to run after me to finish my assignments. Nobody's going to tell me to study. If I fail, I fail. If I decide to drop out, I drop out. Nobody's going to call me to ask me where I am. So it's really about you. You need to decide, this is the work that I'm going to put in if I want to make it to my graduation. It's not easy, but it's not difficult either. It's not impossible, is my point, is what I'm trying to say. All you need to understand is you set a goal for yourself. And when you set a goal, or goal setting means that you plan to achieve something, you take action to achieve it. You can't sit still. So everybody can have a dream or a goal, but it's about making it come to realization. It's about making it real. So you need to take action to achieve it. And if you're really passionate and if you really want to do something or achieve something, then you will stick it out no matter what. That's what I did.
Like very urgent and very determined words that you are saying, that in terms of be sure, make sure that your interest that you have is for you. This is what you decide. This is what you are going to do, because why, it all depends on how much effort and how much of the work that you put in that determines at the end of the day if it's going to work for you.
That's
Tell me,
exactly.
is there maybe a platform, is there maybe ways, or is there maybe a strategy for someone who are in matric right now and says that I want to go study? Where do I go to? What do I do? What do I start with? How do I even go about studying next year?
Yeah, there definitely is. Myself and a few of my colleagues availed ourselves in saying, okay, if you want to apply to a college or university, then you could come to us. We will sit with you with a laptop. I'll use my own laptop or my personal laptop. We have our computer applications technology teacher as well, with a lab full of computers. So she offered, if a learner wants to apply, it's open. So anybody who wants to apply to a university or college, they are welcome to come to me or to one of my other colleagues, and we will gladly assist until the end of the application process.
Okay, and is there something specific that you will guide them in, or what is nowadays the issues or the challenges revolving around making actually a choice what you're going to study? Because while many of the matriculants or many of the young ones are not really sure about what are they going to study.
I understand what you're saying. Um, the first step, I think, is when you get to grade 10, you choose your subjects that you are going to do until matric, and that will obviously determine what opportunities are available for you, what study opportunities are available. So you are in that field, say for example science, physics, mathematics. So that's the first thing you're going to be looking at. What can I do with this? So to start off, we will say, okay, what can I do with my current subjects? What career options are available to me? All right. And then the child will look at it to see, okay, I want to do chemical engineering. I want to become a scientist. I want to become a science teacher or a mathematics teacher. And then we'll say, okay, so here you need to apply to this faculty, or you need to do a course in this specific faculty. Um, or maybe the child doesn't want to do anything of the sort, but then the child eventually, the decision, it's up to the child ultimately. But we start off by asking, what are your interests and what subjects do you have? And based on that, we can choose a suitable field for the learner. Yes, because the learners don't necessarily know what options are available to them. So sometimes we literally need to do research and see, okay, here is a list with options. There are like 10 fields you can go into with your subjects that you have. So then the child would select.
And speaking a bit more about studying in your experience, what are some things that you are really most grateful for while you were busy studying that was there for you in support?
Um, I had great lecturers. They are so passionate and they make you feel important. They know your name, especially in postgraduate studies. Um, they give you all the guidance you need. You can call them, you can go knock on their doors and in their offices. So they are available to you basically. There's never a moment where they will turn you away. So that helped a lot. And then of course, my two beautiful parents back in Easterveer. They supported me so nicely. My daddy would, in the evening while I'm studying, he would check on me and bring me a cup of coffee with biscuit or make me a sandwich. My mother, being a teacher herself, always used to help me, especially when I just started studying. And I would ask her questions, she would guide me. And let me tell you, after that, it wasn't even really necessary for me to ask her anymore, because then I got into the hang of things. So I believe that when you have support, it's important to have support. When you do something to build yourself up, you need someone to tell you, I'm here, or you can do it. Sometimes when people get negative comments from other people, or they say you can't do this, you'll never be able to do this, then you tend to believe it. You are a human being. You're going to believe what other people say about you. So a strong support system, or a positive support system, whether it be friends, your family, your partner, your husband, wife, it's important. It really helps to get you through.
We as people sometimes need that belief in us. We as people sometimes need to believe in ourselves. And that helps a lot in the case, sometimes going through a challenging situation, sometimes
Yes.
doing something that needs a lot of focus, such as studying, that needs a lot of effort, such as studying. So definitely the support definitely helps a lot. And thank you so much for opening that up. So what motivates you, or what really encourages you to stay on that path? And I'm talking about Miss Julianne Phillips, this Macy from Biala. What had motivated you and encourage you to keep on going through studies?
Um, we all have a vision growing up. We all have a dream. When you're in grade one, you want to become, I wanted to become a lawyer. Then when I got early years of high school, grade 8 or so, I wanted to be a scientist. Then I wanted to be a dancer. So it could change, but I think some people stick to their one career choice. But the most important thing that I can say is that you need to know where you want to be. You are now not thinking about the day of tomorrow, I mean, today anymore. You are thinking about the day of tomorrow. You are thinking 5 years from now, 10 years from now. What do I want in 10 years? Or what would I like to achieve or have achieved in 10, 15 years? So you need to see where you want to be. And that is what helps drive you to put in the necessary effort, work hard, and ultimately achieve your goal. You need to know where you want to be. If you don't know, then it's difficult to plan. Then it's difficult to see. So you all want to buy once in your lifetime a nice car, maybe. You want your own house. You want luxuries. You want to go on vacations, maybe. So the only way that can happen is if you work. So you can have anything you want. You can do anything you want, but you have to believe in yourself, and you have to put in the effort. You have to see in front of you. You have to you have to look and see. But that's where I want to be. If you don't see anything, then nothing can happen. Yeah.
Yes, you have to look for a hit. And thank you so much, Miss Ford, for the intriguing and very inspirational and amazing person that you are. It's not just to the students, but also to the colleagues, and also to those who are wanting to study, and those who can see that definitely it is a possibility. It is possible. It is a lot of, it is work and it is effort, but definitely it is possible to study and reach your career and your vision and your dream. Lastly, I would like to ask you, what would be your motivation, or what would you say to those who are going to study and those who are busy studying?
I would say, hold on, little child. Tomorrow you'll be laughing. Even if you're crying tonight. Oh, I still need to go through this chapter. I still need to do a summary of this. Tomorrow you'll be laughing with joy. Graduating, my first graduation, I couldn't believe what I'd achieved. I couldn't believe that I made it. I don't know. It's not that I doubted myself. But sometimes along the line, you feel, oh my word, can I even do this? But when you get there, it's a different feeling. It's an amazing feeling of excitement and ecstasy. Gee whiz. It's a really nice feeling. And I must say that feeling is one of the reasons why I continued studying. It made me feel like I can do anything. I have a degree now, or then I studied, then I got the certificate, and I studied again, and I got my second degree. It literally makes me feel that I can do anything. So that just made it better. So I would say, even though you're crying tonight, tomorrow you'll be dancing, smiling, laughing. Just think about it.
Yes, and thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. And I really
It's
appreciate
a
the
pleasure.
inspiration that you are. Thank you so much, Ms. Julianne Phillips. So this is Conversations and Translations. And today it was really a special way for us to see that, yes, challenging situations, challenging circumstances, difficulties is there when you are going to study. But it is definitely a possibility for you to one day have your degree, to one day reach for your goals and reach for your visions. And Ms. Julianne Phillips, talking to her, shared a lot of ways and strategies to make us even realize that if we are going to study, do not give up. Yes, the difficulties is there, but we are going to make it at the end of the day. So thank you so much to Ms. Julianne Phillips.
Thank you.
Again, this is Conversations and Translations, and this is where the conversation is real and the dive is deep. See you again next time.